This is an innovation grant presentation for Aaron Knudsvig and the Cambridge Middle School choral program. I'm requesting a partial classroom set of iPod touches and charging stations. These devices will be used by the students in class during a full group rehearsal to record themselves. I will use those recordings then to do individual assessments of each singer. The goal for the proposal is to better know each of my singers. I'd like to fully understand the vocal range of my singers individually, not just as a large group. I'd also like to be able to show them things like the changes that voices go through in the course of a year. That's especially appropriate and important with 7th grade boys in particular. I'd like to use this technology as a tool to track my progress for my student goals for my formal evaluation, which include tracking how many singers are actually singing with that free and open tone quality that we work on a daily basis, as well as evaluating which singers read music well and can interpret the simple and more complex musical symbols. All of this would be incorporated as quickly as I can. I'd like to start right away in January with introducing the students to this new system of assessment. My current system is an individual assessment done in September with grades 6th, 7th, and 8th, as well as a January assessment for 6th grade and on occasion 7th grade. Each assessment is a one-on-one assessment in my office where I take each student through a series of vocal exercises, and essentially I determine their comfortable vocal range. Occasionally I can get a little more information about pitch matching and tone quality out of that, but the assessment itself is only a minute and a half long, and while I'm doing that, the rest of the class is working on assignments that I've given. So I try and go as quickly as I can, which can be a detriment to the singer. This system takes anywhere from a week to 2 weeks or more, depending on the size of the class, on a 3-day rotation. So it's a lot of curricular time that is lost while I'm trying to assess these singers. The potential system that I'd like to include would be an assessment every month, where the class would record themselves and submit that through Moodle. These assessments could be made from specific spots in the music as opposed to generic vocal exercises, and allow me to find out how well the students are learning the song, could highlight actual deficiencies in the singing, such as breath support and phrasing, as well as show whether the musical line is appropriate for their particular voice range. If I have put them on a soprano and they should actually be an alto based on a one-day assessment back in September, things change through the course of the year, and this would give me a better idea of exactly where the singer is. The benefits would be better understanding of the individual singers. As I said, the voices change throughout the year, and this will help me track that. Less curricular time lost. I don't have a week or 2 weeks of time that I'm giving up at the beginning of the year and again in January. Overall, I would see better classroom management, since there would not be times in the course of the year where students are working independently, sometimes as many as 60 or 70 kids, without a teacher in the room while I'm doing these individual assessments. Currently, about half my students have mobile devices that they could use for this sort of project. A set of 18 iPods would allow me to test any one section of a choir that was particularly large, such as my 74 voice 7th grade group, or the entire rehearsal group of a smaller choir. 18 iPods and 3 6-port chargers would cost a total of $3,743.97. That's a student benefit ratio of 0.08 based on an average 300 students that I have this year and other years. I have tried this particular form of assessment in previous years, but due to the imbalance in numbers of devices to students, it became impractical. I ended up recording the same thing over and over again, and students would log in and out of Moodle, and it was a very inefficient use of time, but the idea was particularly good. I did see an increase in students wanting to do a good job for this recording. They took good ownership in preparing for it, and I think if we could get devices in the hands of as many people at one time as possible, we could run a song one time through. Everyone records it. Everyone uploads it to Moodle, and it's done in 3 minutes time. Um, and then I have the time in my prep to go on and listen and see where we're at, and make some formal assessments and evaluations, as well as give feedback through Moodle to the students to give encouraging comments, but also to say, in rehearsal in this section of the song, look at this or work on this. It'll also give me a better understanding. If there's one or two notes that the sopranos are missing every time that I haven't picked up on, I'll be able to hear that very clearly with one singer at a time. I want to thank you for your time and your consideration for this proposal, and I look forward to hearing from you in January.